let's start right away with, are you still seeking appraisal? Why is that?
Well, we think it's undervalued, and we're going to, we plan to go for an appraisal.
Aren't you rolling the dice here? I mean, you already made money. What if a judge decides the company's actually worth less than what Michael Dell and Silver Lake are paying?
Well, usually that doesn't happen. Usually these appraisals work out pretty well. We've done a lot of work on it, and at this time we think that it's worth more. We do have the right to go and give up the appraisal rights for 60 days after the merger goes through. So we have a fair amount of time to decide anyway. So it's almost, from our point of view, a no-brainer to go and say and decide later if we're going to do it.
Give it a shot. How much do you think it's really ultimately worth? What would you like to see a judge decide?
I haven't really thought that out, Trish. I mean, we're in 10 deals right now, and I think from our point of view, while we lost, and I'm somewhat saddened by that, we came out making a fair amount of money. We did the work the board should have done. I mean, the board to me acted in a horrendous way. They just caved in. As I say, I congratulated Michael because I think he did it out of self-interest, which makes some sense. But why the board just gave the company away, did not really even do a true auction, is beyond me. I mean, I think this Alex Mandel, he did a terrible job, and we told him that, and I've said it publicly. I mean, it took us to raise it $500-600 million more, and we did that without even working too hard. Yeah, I know they said it was the last and best offer, but the board actually, it's amazing. I mean, if you go to buy a painting in Sotheby's at an auction, the auctioneer doesn't tell you the painting's all scratched and here's $25 million, don't bid. That's literally what this board did. And this is the trouble in America. I will tell you this, that there is no corporate democracy. We as a country pride ourselves on democracy, and yet it's a dysfunctional corporate governance system in this country. And I'll tell you that if it was changed, and I hope with the Twitter, there may be a chance to raise enough people's awareness about this. If it would change, this country would be a lot more productive. There'd be a lot more jobs because executives would have to be accountable. CEOs would have to be accountable. You could replace them. There is none of that. This is sort of a vicious cycle that goes on. It sounds tremendously corny, and I know it does. But, I came from Queens, a tough neighborhood. We had very little money. My mother's a school teacher. And I've done so well because it's a great country. And democracy is a great system when you have it. And while our political system lacks somewhat, it's nothing like this corporate system. And the reason I make so much money, or one of the major reasons, is because once you get into these companies and clean up the mess, there's so much more value. And look at this board. Look how horrendous. I mean, it's like
Carl,
a
do you think that Southeastern will join you in seeking appraisal?
Oh, I really, that's completely their business. It doesn't matter to me whether they join or not. I mean, if you go for appraisal, you go for appraisal. It doesn't mean that more people join you that it's a plus or a minus. And we haven't made up our final we have not made up our final decision on appraisal, but we've done a lot of work on it. And we do think that it's worth a lot more, but that could change. We have time to change our mind on that.